All right, what is going on, guys? You already know we got the Costa Rica coffee going over here. And basically, we're just going to be watching why millennials are leaving six-figure tech jobs. I kind of want to know about this too. It's very interesting. I'm not really into the whole tech. I mean, I invest in tech stocks, but besides that, that's mainly it. So yeah, let's just jump straight into it.
To most workers in the US, the perks given to those who work in tech are astounding. $2,000 to spend on a vacation anywhere in the world,
Dang.
$2,500 per year for student loans, $4,000 in baby cash for new parents. That on top of lavish offices decked out with in house massage parlors, gyms, and cafeterias serving free restaurant quality food. During the pandemic, in office perks were replaced by money to furnish home offices, mental health days, and the freedom to work from home forever. In an industry fraught with competition for the brightest minds, perks have become a way to not only attract, but also retain top talent.
The benefits and perks package alone, I would say probably was at least 40 or 50K.
This on top of salaries that are multiple times higher than those of other industries. In 2019, the average tech salary in the US was $146,000. That's almost 3 times the median salary of public school workers, who made up the largest industry of workers in the country in
Oh.
2021. But even those swanky office spaces, six-figure salaries, and unlimited time off are not enough to keep some millennials from leaving their tech jobs.
I expected kind of this perfect work environment, but it was ultimately still a big company with a lot of those same corporate problems that you get in a large company.
Hi there, can you?
I mean, no company is ever going to be perfect. That's not possible. Um, but I worked at Kroger back when I was like 15, 16, so I can like save up money. I was a cashier and like the person that bagged the groceries, I was a bagger boy. That work environment was terrible. If you worked under 6 hours, you did not get a break. If you worked either between 6 to 7 hours, you would get a 15-minute break, and only on an 8 hour shift, you would get a 30-minute break. The rest of the time, you were on your feet doing whatever they told you. You had I remember we used to have a 5 minute clock in and clock out window, so that means that basically if your shift started at 8 a.m., by 7:55 a.m., you'd have to like clock in, and then you could, well, by 8:05 at the latest, you can clock in, and let's say you get off at 5 p.m., then you could be able to clock out at 4:55. But one of the managers was like, "Nope, we don't do that anymore." Even though they still did, he just didn't allow it. And then he always wrote people up, and it never went through. But it was always just a hassle because then you had to talk about it, and it just took time out because then you'd have to come into work like 20, 30 minutes earlier than you would have otherwise. So, but yeah, I mean, if I had to work a corporate job, I would so not mind doing it at Google. I feel like that would be a great job. They have great facilities. I visited LinkedIn once. Great facilities, great food as well. So, I mean, but yeah, let's just keep watching.
CNBC spoke to several people who left their lucrative tech jobs to ask them one question: why? Free team building trips to Hawaii and private concerts aside, the tech industry can be stressful. I'm curious, was there a moment for you when you started noticing that like some of the perks kind of start losing their luster?
A lot of these companies have unlimited paid time off, which sounds amazing, right?
Yeah.
What happens in practice is a lot of people take less than you would otherwise. They serve dinner every day, but they serve it really late. So if you want the dinner, you got to stay at the office, you know? So it's things like that where
And then don't stay for
it's
dinner.
really, it's a good perk, right? But there's something about it that's like, it makes you work more.
Aaron Jack landed a coveted job at Uber as a software engineer in 2018, after going through an intensive coding boot camp in San Francisco.
I guess I never considered that you could even get into something like Uber or Google. I thought those were kind of like reserved for, you know, really elite individuals.
Jack says that Uber was the best job he ever had, but being a part of an industry that thrives on efficiency and innovation meant the pace could be unrelenting.
Started out really great because I was new, I was just learning everything, right? But the longer I actually stayed, the more, the responsibilities kept kind of increasing on me because I became a critical member of my team. I felt kind of stuck because you get motivated to finish and you're like, oh, I'm stressed to meet this deadline. But then you're almost on a treadmill where you like finish and then you just get a new project.
Anna Arsentieva worked as a software engineer before leaving in December of 2020.
Not gonna lie, but these issues kind of seem not really issues. Sounds like any other job with just a bunch more perks.
Got my things there. I'm about to head out from the building. I've been here for the last 8 years. I'm about to set the alarm and leave for the day. And not for the day, but actually leave this time.
The company where she worked didn't offer the same perks as the big tech giants, but it did offer a good work-life balance. Still, she felt a similar type of pressure.
What led to the burnout? It was not the amount of hours I was putting in, but the fact that I will have a project, I will get everything I can to make it successful. As soon as that project ends, immediately a new one starts.
Jack and Arsentieva are not alone. A 2018 survey by Blind, an anonymous workplace chat app, found that over 50% of the close to 11,500 tech workers surveyed answered yes when asked if they currently suffered from job burnout. Compare that to a 2019 survey of 15,000 physicians, only 42% of who said that they felt burnt out. And the pandemic only seems to have made things worse.
So many of my clients found themselves working all the time, rolling out of bed in the morning, working, thinking, well, I have nowhere to go this evening, so I might as well just keep working. Waking up on a Saturday, I have nothing to do. Well, I might as well just keep going. There is this understanding of you're being paid well, there's all these perks, there's, stock options, we're giving you a lot, and in exchange, we're really requiring you to work those extra hours.
A 2020 survey by Blind showed that 68% of tech workers felt more burnt out while working from home than while working from the office.
Yeah, I feel like this is one of those jobs if you want to go into banking like Goldman Sachs, where you only do it for a couple of years, save up as much money as possible, and then from that point figure out something new, figure something out with more of a work-life balance, figure something out with less pay, but more relaxation and stuff like that. So that's kind of what it then comes down to. So I feel like the tech job area is around a 5-year workforce or work field before you go into something less. Because if you're making 200 grand for 5 years, you got $1 million. Let's say you spend 50,000 a year. That's 250. So you just have an extra 750,000 sitting in the bank. And from that point on, that's a good amount. Or even if you do it for 6 years, then you basically almost have $1 million. You'll have 900,000. And I think 900,000 is a great base in order to start. Anything around $1 million is a great base to start.
The survey included over 3,000 employees working at companies like Amazon, Microsoft, Facebook, Apple, and Google.
I feel like the burnout in Amazon is
Tonight,
huge.
I'll be eating a pork banh mi with extra jalapenos. Thanks, baby. Yeah, we about to get spicy for this virtual day.
Spicy like them pajama pants.
Hey, the camera is staying up here. This is not the second day.
Beyond the day-to-day pressure, some said stagnation played a role in their decision to leave their tech jobs.
I was looking at the trajectory of the job over time, and I didn't really see the growth opportunities I wanted.
In fact, a 2020 survey of more than 4,000 tech workers found that, following salary, the opportunity to learn new skills was the second largest motivator to accept a new job offer. The same survey found that 58% of tech workers would leave their current job for another one if presented new challenges and problems to solve. Jack imagined his life 10 years into the future.
You're still in the same office, you're at the same desk, have the same chair, same commute. So the details change, but your life is kind of the same.
Arsentieva agrees that the desire to keep learning and growing played a part in her decision to leave.
In 2019, at the end of the year, I was talking with my manager that I want to do something else. I want to learn something else. And it just happened that my interests were not aligned with the interests or the needs that the company had at the time.
Arsentieva persevered out of a sense of loyalty. Her company had hired her with almost no experience after she immigrated to the US from Europe. But she volunteered to leave when the company downsized due to the pandemic and spent the next 6 months studying web development. Claire Shapiro joined Google straight out of college and quickly began pulling in a 6-figure salary. But after years in a number of different roles, she felt stuck in the tech bubble.
I heard from so many other people that had other diverse experiences outside of Google, that you can't really fully appreciate Google or you can't really understand without having this kind of other context. It did feel like, well, wow, if I don't leave now, I could stay here for the rest of my life.
In 2018, Shapiro took a 50% pay cut and moved to Belgium for a new position as a design consultant for the Board of Innovation.
I thought, I think the work that I am doing.
Yeah, again, like you can save up the money and then do what you want to do later on and without having to worry about your financial situations anymore.
Energizing me to the fullest, and I think I could probably find that potentially outside of Google. And I did.
Whoa, hold it! I'd like to tell you how to get $5,000 in free silver.
The tech industry is built on entrepreneurs, so it's no surprise that many of those who leave their tech jobs do so to start their own endeavors. That was the case with Morgan DeBon.
I wanted to be an entrepreneur.
Even like small tech startups is way more lucrative than working for a company. Especially if you have the experience, it should only take you about a year or two, and then you should quite literally almost be making $500,000 yearly, if not more, because on average, small companies like that make around $2.5 million profit every single year. So that basically means, okay, if you have a small team of 5 people, you bring in $2.5 million profit, right? So that's like profit. That means everyone can basically get paid $500,000, or it's like 600, then 400, then 3, and then whatever, But yeah, so again, it's just small is more lucrative. Small startups are more lucrative in that sense. And yeah.
I wanted to move fast and not get too attached to having, a nice 6-figure income at such a young age.
Like Shapiro, DeBon started working at Intuit right after college and quickly moved through the ranks. But working as a product manager, she noticed a blind spot in the products that she was helping to develop.
When we're looking at target users as a product manager, which was my first role, you create these user personas, right? And so you describe the person, you describe the target person, what do they look like, what do they eat, where do they shop, what problems are they solving, what technology do they use, because you really want to have empathy for the customer. And at the time, it felt like every customer's identity was all the same. It was these white people, middle class, and I'm like, wait, hold on. This can't be good, and there's clearly a disconnect here.
DeBon says that she liked her job, but thought that she could make a bigger impact by founding her own company.
I don't think that there's any tech company that's ever going to put the Black audience and the Black community and the Black customer base as their core demographic that they're solving for.
In 2014, she launched Blavity, a media company geared towards Black millennials. Is there anything that tech could have done to keep you specifically in tech?
I don't know that there's anything that could have kept me in working at a big tech company. As a young Black woman, I didn't want to fight so many fights for the rest of my life. I think that I've made a lot more progress outside of a corporate entity and been able to push a lot more tech companies to be more diverse and empowered Black people to be in the technology industry and be more equipped to be able to influence these product decisions. Definitely more than I could have been as being a group director or a VP at one of these tech companies.
Jack and Shapiro have also struck out on their own.
I actually spent the better part of 6 months developing my own kind of better coding bootcamp, Freemote, the freelance developer bootcamp, that solved a lot of the problems of the bootcamp I went to.
Although Shapiro still works on some projects with the Board of Innovation, she has also found her calling as a freelance product and business design consultant.
Right now I'm making less than I made at Google, but that's partially by design. I really am prioritizing not as much the salary side and more of the work-life balance and having experience side of it.
Leave it to the pros. HostGator is built by web pros who know what you need from a host. So build this.
In an industry as competitive as tech, top talent is crucial, and those who leave are doggedly pursued to return.
Google does an excellent job of maintaining connection with people that leave. I had a dedicated recruiter that I could call at any time that checked in with me once a year, asked me how my job was going, asked me what I was doing.
I get recruited still to come back into a big tech company, and I always just it makes me happy because I'm like, yes, keep trying to get me back into the system. But I'm busy.
If you didn't have this grand vision, do you think that you would have left tech?
No. I don't think that I would have left tech if I didn't have a vision or didn't have an internal purpose that was driving me.
And going back is certainly tempting.
For me, I don't think that I would go back unless the sort of structure and the roles that I would want to have kind of came into Google. So who knows? If Google and I meet again, I won't be mad about it.
After a 6-month hiatus, Arsentieva got another tech job, this time as a software engineering manager at a company that helps match customers with car and health insurance. Do you feel like you are less burnt out from this job?
Honestly, no. I want to give the best I can, so I put a lot of hours, but it's never asked of me. Actually, in reality, my manager told me I should stop working so many hours and take it easy, and because they want me for the long run, not for me to get burned out again.
But stress and its impact on mental and physical well-being isn't unique to the tech industry. A 2021 survey of 1,500 workers from different industry sectors found that 52% of the respondents are experiencing burnout. Still, the restrictions of the past year have given a lot of young tech workers the time to think.
I think it's really hard to make this transition into a role where if there aren't the perks and the money is very different. But I think now people are, now that they've been away from it for a year, that it's an easier transition.
For those in
So my whole opinion or viewpoint on this is, basically, if you guys don't know, I trade stocks. I literally that's what I was doing on my phone. I was literally just trading AMC real quick because I saw a good buying opportunity. But anyways, that is what I do. So I work from my phone, I work from my laptop, and then my Mac's about to fall asleep, great. And then I make videos for fun. Do I get paid a lot from the videos? No, barely anything. New channel, not really sponsored or anything like that. Throughout time, do I think it'll grow? Yes, I do. But basically, the thing that I had to deal with this year, basically, or adapt to, is I was in college. I was going into I finished my third semester. I was in my sophomore year, and I finished my first semester in my sophomore year. Now, however, I did have enough credits and all of that, so I basically had 1.5 years or 3 semesters of college left. And again, that's not bad. However, with everything that ended up going down, I used to get free food on campus. I didn't get that anymore. I used to get like all the free textbooks. I didn't get that anymore. I was able to go to the gym. The gym wasn't open anymore. So I basically had to spend a lot more money. And after the first semester, I realized, okay, this isn't worth it anymore, right? I started making some really good money through day trading and through my other ventures. So I'm like, okay, this is pointless. Currently, at this moment in time, I'm making between $20,000 to $40,000 every single month. Now, my school, during their orientation, was very, very, very excited to mention that the average undergraduate salary is $56,000 in 1 year. That is the average undergraduate salary, $56,000. I am 20 years old. I'm about to be 21 years old. Basically, if I have 3 low months, I make more in those 3 months than they would make. The only difference is I trade on my own time. I make my own schedule. I do like working on extra stuff. A couple people that were through my TikTok and my Instagram have been messaging me asking about a fitness course. So I've done that. I'm creating that. Again, that is free. Not going to promote it down here because I haven't released it yet or anything like that. But again, and so basically I'm just doing things that create money. Another thing I did is I ended up buying an Audi A5. Now that car brings me in around $950 profit every single month. So again, it's like, how do you pay for stuff? How do you make more money? But the thing that I was struggling with is that basically I realized that after my semester, I finished my third semester and I'm like, okay, I'm done, right? I was honestly just going to take a gap semester, but I know I'm not returning. So at that time, I was like, what do I do now, right? Where do I go? I mean, because I wanted to travel. It was cheap to travel. It was easy for me to travel. And I'm just like, okay, what do I do? Where do I go? The only difference is for me, my friends were still in Utah. My friends were in Texas, and I had some friends in Germany. Sorry, I'm about to sneeze. But basically, I'm like, okay, but then what, right? I can go there, I can be there for a month, or I can make myself a nice home office. I can get myself a nice place with a nice pool, nice living arrangement, customize it the way I want to customize it, and kind of have like a nice little sweet relaxation spot. So, I mean, currently if I want to go upstairs to my office, the way that it's set up is I'll insert the video right here how basically my upstairs office and all that looks and how we work up there. So that is how that looks, right? And I nicely custom. I'm a huge basketball fan, always have been, always will be. So that area and then that office, and I'm still setting up, I'm still adding more stuff, right? But for example, I didn't feel like going up there today. I just wanted to grab my cup of coffee. I have a workout in 20 minutes. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna sit down here in my basically lunch table in a sense, because or just like table. It's a very small table. I also use it for beer pong. But yeah, so that is kind of what my whole conundrum is. I didn't know what to do. I had too much freedom at that point because I could go anywhere, because I could work from anywhere. But at the same time, no matter where I went, it would be the same if I stayed at home. The only difference is one would cost me a lot more money than the other, and one would be more stressful than the other. So I decided to stay at home. So right now, on Sunday, I'm going to Greece. I'm taking a quick trip there for 2 weeks, heading to Amsterdam. Then I'm going to Germany to visit my family. Then I'm coming back to Texas, and then I have a wedding in London in July. So that is sort of my travel plans right now. But that's vacation travel. That's not like, okay, I'm going to go here for 2 months. No. However, me and my friends, what we do want to do is, since I am trying to create an entrepreneur house, because while living, so this is a 5-bedroom house. The price of this home has already increased by almost $200,000 since I purchased it, which is incredible, and I'm super thankful for that. However, basically, I want to not really live alone, right? So it's like, okay, what can I do to make life more enjoyable, right? So one of my buddies, he graduated high school, and he was basically like, hey, do you mind if I learn from you? So his parents gave him a choice. They're like, we'll pay for your college, or we're cutting you off after the summer. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to try this for a year. And then he asked me, and I said, sure thing. So he's living with me. Again, I don't really charge a lot of rent. It's $500 a month that I charge. 4 people, my mortgage is $2,500. It's really not bad. 4 people live here. That means $2,000. So everyone pays $500. Done and done. You know, it's a fun, nice work environment. I can hang out. It's a lot more relaxed. And yeah, so that is basically how I'm doing it. But the point is, it's at the end of the day, it's where you're most comfortable at. If you want to travel the world and you want to do stuff like that, go for it. I'm probably going to start doing that in September. Going to Bali for a month in August, then September, Italy for a month, and just kind of seeing that, and then settling back down probably in like November time up in Utah, November through like January, February for skiing, because I absolutely love that. And then from that point on, I don't know yet. Again, I can go anywhere else. Doesn't matter. I'm buying an apartment up there with some friends as well. So that way I have a place down here and I have a place up there. And at that point, yes, I will basically be buying 2 of everything. I will be having a car up here. I will be having my car down here. But again, as long as you have that sustainable financial income in a sense, and you keep your expenses, or you keep your expenses lower than what you earn, then you're in a great position, especially if you have a nice pile of cash on an emergency fund, or stuff like that, or easily assets that you can liquidate within a day, you're fine. But that's basically why I understand why a lot of people were leaving their tech jobs, because even I'm still trying to figure out my purpose, because I don't have an idea. I have no idea what I want to do, no idea where I want to go, or what I want to be, to be honest. I love doing what I do, but I just want to find more, right? I want to see what else is out there for me, find the best place to live. Do I see myself living in Texas forever? No. Is it a great opportunity right now? Absolutely. Do I see myself living in Utah or Germany forever? No, I don't either. Is it fun? Do I love it? Do I miss my family? Do I love my family? Yes, obviously I do. But I just don't know yet. And until I try every single thing, I will never know. So that's just what I have to do, so I understand where they're coming from. But that's kind of the conundrum I face. I guess some of these people faced it too. But that's basically just my insight, so let's just finish the video.
Wondering if they should quit their jobs? Jack says it might be worth the risk.
If you're someone in tech, then you have skills that are just intrinsically valuable. You can always get back and do it again.
I remember I took the Google Python course. Took me about 6 weeks. Very fun, very interactive. I got the Google certificate completion. And besides that, I mean, yeah, that's what I did. But alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. But besides that, I will see you guys tomorrow with another Costa Rica coffee video. Peace out guys.